Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Talking Timepieces, where we talk about watch collecting and horology. Today, I've got 3 space-related chronographs, and I thought it would be a good idea to compare the 3 of them and see how they stack up against one another. Actually, I would say that they're more complementary and would be a great addition to anyone's collection in each of their own rights. But it's always worth to take a look at the different pieces and see how they compare against each other. So let's turn the camera around and take a look. So here are our 3 space watches. There are other watches that have the claim to fame, the Seiko Pogue and the like, but these are all very classic chronographs and all have a space legacy. Okay, the Speedmaster 2 doesn't have a direct space legacy. I do have a regular Speedmaster Professional, but it's the special edition Silver Snoopy, and I wanted to compare more apples to apples here. And I believe that the Speedmaster 2 is more of a tool watch compared to, say, like the Fortis, which is very much a tool watch, and the Bulova Lunar Pilot, which is rugged and reliable because it's a quartz. These 2 are both mechanical, and in all, just really sharp pieces. So let's take a look at the first one here. We have the Speedmaster. This is the Speedmaster 2. The big difference between the Speedmaster 2 and the Speedmaster Professional is the Speedmaster Professional has an external bezel, and the Speedmaster 2, the bezel is underneath the crystal, which gives it a cleaner look and also keeps the tachymeter scale from getting banged up. A lot of older Speedmasters, especially with the aluminum bezel, they get quite banged up over time. But this, I like this. As I said, this is more tooly than the Speedmaster Professional because the tonneau case gives it a more robust form, housing. You know, it's just a very solid piece, and the bracelet is still beautiful, even though it is a steel solid. It's shrouded lugs, so it's pretty rugged in that sense, although it is spring bars as opposed to the screwed lugs of the Fortis. The Fortis is more of a tooly piece, and of course this is a pin and sleeve connections, which, you know, people say that they're not as robust. I haven't had too many bad experiences with pin and sleeve, but I can see how a well done screwed bracelet can give you a much more solid feel and more reliable hold over time. The buckle is stamped sheet metal, and it's pretty lightweight stamped sheet metal. But then again, this watch was originally designed for racing, not for, they weren't thinking of it as a tool watch in the sense of being extremely rugged. They were thinking of it in the sense of being a good stopwatch, and the mechanism is what passed flying colors with NASA, and NASA didn't use the metal bracelet anyway. They used Velcro straps to attach them to uniforms. I'll try to keep the ring light out of the reflection of the camera, from the camera. All in all, it's just a very clean piece, classic chrono dial layout. All in all, a good looking watch, and highly functional, and well worth having in any collection. All right, so let's take a look at our Bulova Lunar Pilot. This is the meteorite dial version, which I think adds to the space aspect of the piece and helps counteract the fact that this is a quartz piece, the only quartz of this trio, but it has the meteorite dial, which, you know, makes up for it in a lot of ways. There we go. See, we get the ring light reflection away. That pattern in the meteorite is from the cooling over literally millions of years. A piece of molten metal in outer space from a planetary collision or whatever you have floats, and it takes literally millions of years to cool because there's no conduction in vacuum, and it cools roughly, a degree every million years or so. So it takes several hundred million years to develop this crystal pattern. And the nice thing about this piece, it even tells you a little bit about its space legacy, and it tells you where the meteorite came from. So out of the three, this is also the most affordable, because you could pick up one of these for about $1,500. And the fact that it is a quartz makes it very reliable, and it has a very nice polished bezel, titanium case. It comes on a leather bracelet, but it's a standard lug width, so you can put pretty much anything on it except a fitted bracelet. They don't make a titanium. They make a steel, but then it would look kind of odd on the piece. Nice watch though, and I like the rocker pushers. It gives the watch a little bit more of a distinctive look than your standard chronograph. Now, last but not least, and frankly, it's the most tool watch of this group, is the Fortis. Fortis is completely underappreciated as a watch, and it has a real space legacy. And what I like about this model is it has a tachymeter scale. It's like every chrono has to have a tachymeter scale, even though almost no one uses it. Probably the least used feature of any watch of any type anywhere. And so in this model, Fortis, in the B42, in this version of the B42, Fortis puts the tachymeter scale in the rehaut. So it's like, yeah, we have a tachymeter scale. Are you happy? And you're never going to use it anyway. So here it is underneath the bezel. You don't need to really pay attention to it, but if you really need it, there it is. And the face, of course, is very clean, very legible. The hands, the skeleton hands are nice because even if it's blocking the date, you can see the date. Even if it's blocking a subdial, you can see the subdial. It is just a very good looking tool watch. This is not a luxury piece in the sense that you would want to buy. I mean, it's not a cheap watch, but this is what Adrian from Bark and Jack would say, a premium piece. It's not a luxury watch. It's a premium tool watch. Screwed lugs, screwed bracelet, and it is a stamped buckle, but it is significantly more robust than the Speedmasters, and it also has a dive extension. Even though it's not made for divers, it's not really a dive extension, it's a flight suit extension. So instead of strapping it on top of your wetsuit, you would strap it on top of your flight suit. But they knew you were going to do that maybe, and so they gave you that functionality. And it is a, come on, give us a focus here. There we go. It is a Lemania 7750 base movement in here, and they even let you see it with some very nice engraving to show you the 20 atmosphere, the name, that it's water resistant, and chronograph. Just a really nice, well-made, reliable, rugged tool watch. So that's our trio. Which is your favorite? They're all great pieces and would stand on their own or as a group in a collection. Let's turn the camera around and close out the episode. That was the 3-watch comparison. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps the channel a great deal. But thanks for taking the time to watch, and I hope you liked it. Have a great day.